Hello, thank you very much for joining us on Nationwide. I'm Ruth Aguela. The newly appointed permanent secretaries in the Federal Civil Service have been sworn in. Their appointments followed the recently concluded selection process by the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation. President Bola Tinubu performed the ceremony in the Council's chamber of the State House before the commencement of this Monday's meeting of the Federal Executive Council. The new permanent secretaries who took oath of office before the President include Inda Yaku Aishatu Gogo, Adeoye Adeleye Ayodeji, Rimi Nura Abba, Bako Deborah Odo, Omachi Raymond Omenka, Ahmed Dunoma Umar, Wati Tunuke, and Ella Nicholas Agbo. In an earlier statement by the Presidential Advisor on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, announcing their appointments, President Tinubu anticipates that the new permanent secretaries have emerged at the top of qualified candidates after a diligent assessment process, and they're expected to deploy their expertise and competence in the effective execution of the renewed hope mandate to revitalize service delivery in all federal ministries, departments and agencies in the superseding interests of the Nigerian people.
Has sworn in 8 new permanent secretaries, and he believes sincerely that it is only a merit-based system that can produce permanent secretaries that will drive the renewed hope agenda of his administration.
State House correspondent Musbahu Danwahab reports that the new permanent secretaries are to be posted in due course. The Nigerian Television Authority, NTA slogan, "You can't beat the rich," is a driving force as the national broadcaster seeks to maintain its leadership in terms of quality of signal and content. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, at the 2023 NTA Management Conference and Retreat, assures Nigerians of quality broadcasting through the NTA. Let's hear from Salihu Gwanara.
Minister of Information and National Orientation arrives at the Nigerian Army Resource Center, venue of the 2023 NTA Management Conference and Retreat. It is the minister's second engagement with the NTA management. This time, directors and general managers from across NTA's 108 stations are available to rub minds on the task ahead of the public broadcaster in line with the aspirations of the federal government.
As we navigate the complex challenges and opportunities, let us not merely adopt, but seize this initiative to innovate. Through collaborative efforts and blend of ideas, we can chart a course that transcends mere survival, propelling the nation into a realm of sustained relevance and also of influence in nation building.
NTA's transformative agenda towards rediscovering its golden era as a leading broadcaster with quality entertainment, informative and educative programs is gaining momentum, with Minister of Information and National Orientation providing the needed guidance.
As we embark on this retreat, it is crucial to reflect on the dynamic landscape of the media industry generally. The advent of new technologies and changing viewer preferences pose challenges and, of course, opportunities. Our commitment to excellence and adaptability is therefore very paramount. The NTA must continue to evolve, embracing innovation while upholding the highest standards of journalistic integrity. I would like each member of the NTA management team to actively engage in the talks and workshops planned for this retreat. This is an invaluable opportunity to share insights, explore innovative strategies, and collectively chart a new course for the NTA's future. Indeed, collaboration and synergy among departments are essential in enhancing overall effectiveness.
An astute information manager himself, the minister says the event is timely in view of the growing number of options for the viewing public to source information and the challenge of social media, which sometimes comes with false and misleading information.
The president ran his campaign during the electioneering on the renewed hope agenda to ensure that our country returns to the path of economic recovery and sustainable development. Therefore, it behoves on the NTA to continue to enlighten Nigerians on the successes being recorded on all fronts in the implementation of the renewed hope agenda, and to ensure that Nigerians understand and appreciate the policy direction of the Tinubu administration in your news and programming.
Mohammed Idris reaffirmed government commitment towards a speedy economic recovery and digitization project. In line with his desire to uphold standard among the public broadcasters, the minister promised to be active on events like this one as part of his oversight function to improve productivity. From the Army Resource Center in Abuja, Saliu Gwanara, NTA News.
Thank you, Salihu. Coordinating the different facets of social workers in Nigeria has become imperative for optimal productivity. Well, to achieve this, the governing board to monitor and supervise the activities of Nigerian Council for Social Workers have been inaugurated. The Minister of Women Affairs, Uju Kennedy Ohaneye, will, while inaugurating the 30 members of the board, charge them to speed up the work of rendering social services to Nigerians.
To provide general guidance and direction at the national level on all activities relating to the planning, development, and supporting of social service workforce, which may be disseminated to state and local government levels for adoption and implementation.
Members of the board comprises representative of civil society groups, Nigerian Council of Social Workers, Ministry of Labour, Youth Development, Women Affairs, among others. Let's take a look at history. Abuja, the ancient capital city of Ogun State, has its literary meaning as under the rock, a name drawn from a mythical gift of nature called Olumo Rock, which for many years remains a destination of choice for tourists. Yemi Dalamo takes us through the history, the myth, and the socio-economic significance of this magnificent tourist center.
Ancient ancestral Olumo Rock, situated in Abuja, Ogun State, is a monument created by nature and is about 137 meters above sea level and 409 feet below. The name Olumo is the combination of two words, Olu, which means God, and Mo, which means mold, and so Olumo Rock means God-molded rock.
This rock provides the people of this town with refuge when they needed a refuge during the war. That's why they used to pay something like an homage to the rock yearly, every 5th of August. Olumo Rock is an historical monument as well as a symbol of the Egba unity.
From the base of the rock, which is about 120 steps to the peak, one can clearly have a view of Abuja and environs. Notable historical spots at Olumo Rock are the Egba warriors' hideout, where they took refuge during the war, a 350-year-old Iroko tree that grew from the rock, among other historical sites.
We have 2 elevators at that center. If you don't want to climb through the stairway, you can make use of elevator. And we also have a recreational garden for the young children.
Olumo Rock is a popular tourist destination and a source of pride for the people of Abuja and Nigeria. Yemi Dalimo, NTA News.
Well, if you haven't visited Abuja, I think you should have a rethink. But Yemi Dalimo is standing by to join us live now for update on, well, the situation of the rock. Let's hear from you, Yemi. So please educate us. Okay, we seem not to have audio signal coming from Abuja there. Once we do, we'll definitely rejoin Yemi. Let's pick up with other stories. The federal government is to pay a greater attention to the expansion of irrigation development and reactivation of moribund agricultural schemes across the country, including the Lower Anambra Rice Irrigation Project. Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Utsev, disclosed this when he paid a working visit to the Anambra Imo River Basin Development Authority, Owerri. Beatrice Ayam reports.
The visit to Anambra Imo River Basin Development Authority, Owerri, by the Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Utsev, is in continuation of his familiarization tour to get acquainted with the operations and challenges of the parastatals and agencies under the ministry. The minister, who demonstrated dry season planting of palm seedlings with irrigation, says it is geared towards actualizing the federal government's declaration of emergency on food security, noting that the expansion of irrigation development and reactivation of moribund agricultural schemes across the country will be a boost to the policy. He therefore tasks the River Basin Development Authorities in the country on commitment towards increasing land cultivation and productivity, especially in their areas of comparative advantage.
This administration promises to bring fresh perspectives into the flagship projects and programs of the River Basin in order to expand irrigation development and boost food production.
The Managing Director, Anambra Imo River Basin Development Authority, Gerard Osago, who took the minister on facility tour of projects and agri hub of the establishment, as well as pictorial view of the authority's projects in the entire southeast, says the authority is poised towards contributing their quota in achieving the federal government's food security policy, noting that this is evident in the engagement of youth trainees in farming.
The aim is to encourage our people to go into agriculture, because without agriculture, the future is very, very bleak.
The minister had on arrival paid a courtesy visit to Governor Hope Uzodinma at the government house, Owerri, and the chairman, Imo State Council of Traditional Rulers, Emmanuel Okike, who prayed for the success of President Bola Tinubu's administration in Owerri. Beatrice Anyam, NTA.
All right, let's get back to Abuja to join our correspondent, Yemi Dalama, who is standing live. Yemi, we couldn't hear you earlier, so please tell us why this rock, talking about the Olumo rock, is so significant and what's new about it.
All right, Ruth, we thank you for joining us in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. In those days, in the 19th century, the warriors from Egba land, they were being attacked by others across various communities, the intra-tribal war. And in those days, the warrior now decide to look for a place of refuge where they can be protected from those external aggressions. And they discovered this site called the Olumo Rock. Actually, I've explained to you what it means. The rock, Olu means God, and Mo means mold. That is a rock that is molded by God. And they were hiding there, and they were protected from the external aggressions and the warriors in those days. And they were not carried away by the war. So after the war, the people who saw them will begin to ask them, how are you? You are not looking as if the war affected you. They will now tell the people that, oh, we were hiding under the rock, which means Okuta in Yoruba land. So it means that we were hiding under Abeokuta. And that is how the name Abeokuta came into being. So now this Ogun State capital is actually the name after this Olumo rock, where the people were hiding in those days. And the rock provided safety, protection, and comfort for those warriors. And since then, the government of Ogun State took a bigger step to modernize this tourist center and make it among one of the best we have in the country and in the world. And so a lot of tourists are coming here to actually see the good work of nature and appreciate God for what he has given to humanity in this place. So with me, I have one of the tourists who has just gone around this place. He's going to tell us his experience and other things that he feels that should be added into this place to make it more beautiful. I have Ayomide Bashiru with us. You have gone around Ayomide. What is your experience?
Good afternoon, everyone. The experience here is a very good one, and it's breathtaking, seeing that the mountain is 137 meters above sea level, and we're able to see from the top of the mountain, we're able to see different historical sites. Even here in Abeokuta, we saw the first primary school, the first church, that big mosque, the Ogun River, and many other things. Even we saw an Iroko tree.
So what do you think should be added?
All right, so I feel there should be tour guides placed at strategic points from here to the top of the mountain, to tell people more stories about this mountain. And also I feel maybe more documentaries or more stories concerning these historical sites should also be developed.
All right, we just heard from Ayomide. I have with me also the Commissioner for Tourism and Culture in Ogun State, Mr. Fagbayi. He's going to be telling us about what Ogun State government is doing to make this place more attractive to investors. Honorable Commissioner, how significant is this Olumo Tourist Center to Ogun State people?
Well, good afternoon. I'm Oluwasesan Fagbayi, the Honorable Commissioner for Culture and Tourism. Well, Olumo Rock is so significant to Ogun people, Ogun State in general, not only Abeokuta, because of the significant importance, it's attached to the state, because the name of Abeokuta was derived from Olumo Rock.
What about the effort of government to make this place more beautiful in terms of modernization?
Well, in government, in its own part, we are trying to make it more attractive. We are trying to make it more convenient. We are trying to make it more interesting to tourists. But under normal circumstances, government will always remain government. We are looking for a public-private partnership that will come and partner with us in order to make this place more beautiful than what it is today.
Are there innovations that you have in mind?
Yeah. First and foremost, from the perspective of the ministry itself, we are trying, to remodel the ground floor for children, so that children who cannot climb will come down. They will have so many children toys to play with there, and thereafter, we are looking for a way to make the Olumo itself more attractive, that not just come on here without having something to show for it.
All right, the Honorable Commissioner, we thank you for your time. And I'm sure that you have seen it and you have heard from the horse's mouth. I want to tell you, Ruth, next time you are coming to Ogun State, this center is one of the places you must visit. I hope you get that.
Of course, Yemi, I would love to visit the place. Seeing it in movies, we've seen, they've used the location as a very beautiful site in movies, especially Nigerian movies. And it's just a way of retelling our stories and preserving this cultural heritage. Thank you so much, Yemi. All right, our correspondent there giving us update and the situation of the Olumo Rock there in Abeokuta. We'll pick up with other issues. Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Zephaniah Gisalo, says more communities will benefit from the renewed hope agenda of the federal government through projects aimed at developing rural communities. This was at the inauguration of water projects for some rural communities in Benue State. Elias Itiap reports.
Motorized solar-powered boreholes funded by the National Lottery Trust Fund are located in 15 communities of the state where access to potable water remains a challenge.
I want to position it for the benefit of humanity.
The Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Zephaniah Gisalo, performing the flag-off and handing over of the motorized solar boreholes to the 15 benefiting communities, brings to an end of the era of relying on well or stream water. While acknowledging the remarkable impact of interventions by the National Lottery Trust Fund in improving water and sanitation hygiene, the minister therefore tasked the fund to ensure monitoring and evaluation of the projects to keep track of envisaged outcomes.
It is therefore on this trend of this effort that I encourage the fund to extend this laudable intervention to other communities across the country to promote access to clean potable water supplies.
Executive Secretary of the Fund, Dr. Bello Megeri, and the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Patricia Ibiene, urged benefiting communities to take ownership of the projects.
This groundbreaking event is the first of its kind in the area of water and sanitation since the inception of the National Lottery Trust Fund in 2005.
Members of the communities, including traditional rulers and leaders, are grateful to the federal government for the gesture. They pledge to guard the projects jealously. From Dhaka local government area, Elias Itiaf, NTA News.
All right, let's head to Lagos. Adiola is set to bring us the next set of reports.
Thank you, Ruth. Heavy rainfall and the release of water from Oyo Dam in Ogun State has taken its toll on the people of Itowolu community that lives close to River Ogun in Lagos State. Larry Bilei was there for a first-hand experience.
I had an opportunity a couple of days back to have a first-hand experience on the extent of the release of Oyo Dam in Ogun State, coupled with rainfall impact on communities the water flows into. In one community called Itowolu along Odogun River in Lagos, my first impression was that the flooding of the community caused by the release of water has become anticipated with bated breath and fingers crossed that they now compare notes on the level of water to years before.
It affects our business because when there is the water come now, to come outside to go and sell market, it will be difficult. We cannot even to cover our body.
Socio-economic and cultural life have been altered considerably. Houses, the residents informed in Yoruba, are being built with high buffering foundations during dry days in anticipation of the flood. During the time of the flood, canoes becomes a means of movement that take you from your doorsteps to where it's dry. Over 80 years old Amidu Akambi knew of a time when the community only challenge is torrential rainfall, but release of water, its lifestyle had to change.
Please, somebody at the helms of affairs should come to our aid concerning this water.
I sold my car to be able to solidify my house foundation and add more concrete to the bedrooms.
Some have abandoned their property and left the area. The place is one of the flood-prone areas, says Nema.
People should not build on floodplain areas. They should avoid floodplain. And if you want to build, there are measures to be carried out. So it's a bottom disaster risk reduction is a bottom-up policy.
Decision is first with the people in the community. Then the government can work modalities. For now, what they can only do is activate ways of providing palliatives to give succor to them. In Lagos, Larry Bileyi, NTA News.
As the closure of Adekunle section of the Third Mainland Bridge continues to take its toll on businesses and vehicular movement around the axis, motorists and commuters are appealing to the federal government to hasten the pace of work for them to return to their normal lives. Drew Pukwola has that report.
Although a temporary pain that will eventually guarantee each free vehicular movement, the closure of the Adekunle section of the Third Mainland Bridge has not been rosy for businesses around Oyingbo, with sales dropping drastically.
It's fantastic and it's good for everybody, every one of us, but just the process and procedures on which they are doing it is not good because it's really affecting businesses around there.
Because as of last week, I didn't know whether they will work on this road. I've already get down to the bus stop. I have to go back, but it's affecting me. It's affecting.
Construction work is progressing rapidly to keep pace with the timeline of the project and achieve the goal of making Third Mainland Bridge and other adjoining bridges stronger to withstand the volume of traffic. Some motorists who share their experiences suggest effective traffic management of the alternative routes.
We are applying an alternative route, but what happened is that in the alternative route you are applying, there is a little bit of challenges there.
Federal Controller of Works in charge of Lagos, Olukrede Keisha, assured that efforts will be redoubled to ensure speedy completion ahead of the festive period.
government is willing to support the contractor, but the commuters too, the motorists, they're a major stakeholder here. So since the infrastructure is meant for all of us, so we need to take ourselves into consideration. So hence we said, okay, let's tackle the ramps first. There are 4 ramps connecting Adekunle to Third Mainland Bridge. You understand? So we said, okay, let's take 2 ramps at a time.
With more construction workers deployed, road users may not wait too long before they have access to the bridge. In Lagos, Joel Bukbola, NTA News.
And those are the stories from Lagos for now. Nationwide will continue with Ruth in Abuja after this break. Please stay with us.
The Council for Arts and Culture introduces the first National Stakeholders Conference on the review of the past 35 editions of the National Festival of Arts and Culture, NAFEST, a platform for holistic and robust deliberations on NAFEST for wealth creation and a key player in the creative economy, in line with Mr. President's renewed hope agenda. Acknowledging and honoring their excellencies, the executive governors of the 36 states and the FCT minister for their contributions to the success of the past 35 editions of NAFEST. Venue, Chida Hotel, Abuja. Date 5th to 8th December 2023. Time 10 a.m. daily. All stakeholders are hereby invited to come and let's celebrate the bond of unity that our cultural heritage brings. NAFEST, the festival that unites the nation. Announcer, Otumba Olusegun Rushewe, OON, Director General, National Council for Arts and Culture.
I'm fascinated with the discourse on national monuments and assets and how much is being done to preserve and
look into the language issue. We have turned English to become like a pride value in our own cultural values.
It's not cash transfer. It's not a COVID-19.
Invasion 1897 was a deliberate calculation.
You know, many of these people coming to the urban areas now.
And applications, there are terms and conditions that
of course it is the union of 2 people, a man and a woman coming together.
My name is Namdi Odipo.
And I'm Elizabeth Omori.
They swore an oath to serve our fatherland and defend the people. They traded their freedom, comfortable homes and mortgaged their lives on the battleground for our unity and peaceful living. These are the great, loyal and committed Nigerian armed forces who risked their lives courageously to safeguard our borders. But in the line of duty, many never returned. Nigerians, arise, let's celebrate our fallen heroes. Put on the remembrance emblem to support the incapacitated and families of our fallen heroes.
We owe a debt of gratitude to our gallant troops who have risen to the challenge of securing this great nation.
All ministries, parastatals, religious and corporate bodies to donate generously to the Emblem Appeal Launch. Send your donations to these accounts. Account name, Emblem Appeal Launch. Account number 393-200-7526. EcoBank Nigeria PLC.
Welcome back. Discharging the burden associated with a new position attained by 58 legal practitioners just conferred as learned senior advocates of Nigeria is a lifelong process requiring character and discipline. Now, this message by the Chief Justice of Nigeria signals the commencement of the 2023 to 2024 new legal year of Supreme Court of Nigeria. Olabode Arewa reports.
This is a roll call of 58 learned counsel taking the oath upon their being conferred as learned senior advocates of Nigeria, SAN. To merit the conferment, a learned counsel must have spent at least 10 years post-call, and he has been distinguished before the Legal Practitioners Privileges Committee that approves the conferment. Beyond the ceremony associated with the conferment, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Oluka Adewale, took time to enunciate the current steps being taken by the judicial arm of government to sustain the rule of law and the independence of the judiciary in the country, particularly as the new legal year of the Supreme Court of Nigeria commences.
I'm very much convinced that judicial officers at the various hierarchy of courts in Nigeria are discharging their judicial functions in a befitting manner. But as the Chief Justice of Nigeria, I still strongly desire from all judicial officers across courts to lead a disciplined and principled lifestyle.
New and enviable status demands that you must be honest.
Some notable lawyers who were just conferred as new silks include Fumi Falana, Olumide Akinlujimi, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu, and Dr. Kayode Ajulo.
For every practicing lawyer, this is the height of it.
Since its establishment in 1976, more than 600 Nigerian lawyers have attained the rank of the Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Olabode Arewa, NTA News.
Nigerian Youths in Politics and Good Governance has commended the Nigerian judiciary for some of the landmark judgments delivered, especially that of Kano State Governorship Appeal of November 17, 2023. Membership of the organization, cutting across all political parties, say the constitution is clear over some of the encumbrances that guided the judgment and urge opposition to stop harassing the Nigerian bench for reasons that cannot be proven in the law court.
We wish to state that the court did not act ultra-vires when it held that Engineer Abba Kabiru Yusuf was not a member of the New Nigerian People's Party, NNPP, as of the time the party sponsored him as the governorship candidate of Kano State. We agree that the tribunal actually strengthened democracy by deducting the uncertified ballot papers which were neither signed nor stamped by the electoral officers presiding during the polls as stipulated by the law.
The political organization appealed to Nigerians to accept court verdict in good faith, as it is the only way to strengthen Nigeria's democracy and promote good governance for continued peace and stability of the country. Well, the end of the year is often associated with a desire to meet up with financial demands, which goes with the season. This often results in heightened activities and increased vehicular movement. Well, to this effect, recklessness by some drivers sets in, leading to increase in road crashes. In this background report, Ijoma Ugweke spoke with some residents of Port Harcourt who called for more action from the Federal Road Safety Commission.
Weeks to the end of every year are always characterized by high activities ranging from increased travels, end-of-year parties, meetings, marriages and housewarming, among others. These activities most often take people outside their base. The resultant effect of these movements is the high volume of traffic along major roads. Default in traffic rules becomes the order of the day as the period presents opportunities for transporters to make brisk business.
We, members of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, we are trying to educate our people that they shouldn't drink by the time they are traveling or when they are driving, to make sure now that the sales of alcohol, even in our park, is totally banned.
As preparation for the festive period heightens, Road users are advised to be careful and obey traffic rules as only the living celebrates. In Port Harcourt, Ijomu Gweke, NTA News.
And to get more update on the preparedness of the FRSC in Port Harcourt, we join our correspondent live, Robinson Derataide. Robinson, you have a situation report there, with, so please fill us in. You hear my question? Robinson, please just go ahead and give us update on the situation report there regarding road crashes you just shared, the other reporter just shared with us in the previous report.
Hello? I can't hear. Just tell me to start, I will just start. Yes, the traffic.
All right, we apologize. We've lost signal there with our correspondent, Robinson Derataide. We hope to fix it and connect back with him. All right, let's get to the studio now, but still in Port Harcourt, as we join Gabrielle. She has another set of reports for us.
Thank you, Ruth, and welcome to Port Harcourt. After 4 days of intensive demonstration of military capabilities at sea, troops of the Nigerian Navy are high in spirit to assert the nation's naval authority as a leading force in the sub-Saharan African region. Kingsley Amajiri has details of this report.
The hallmark of Chief of Naval Staff Annual Sea Inspection is the appraisal of the naval practical capabilities and evaluation of the troops' operational readiness. The sea, of course, provides the theater of operation for troops of the Nigerian Navy to demonstrate their combat readiness towards discharging the constitutional, military, and policing responsibilities to the nation. From anti-bunkering, gun, emergency response, search and seizure to replenishment at sea exercises, the objective is to take cognizance of the fleet strengths and challenges.
Our presence, enhanced presence through this exercise has given more confidence to the merchant ships to ply their trade, including other maritime trade to prosper and to be conducted without fear of threat from any maritime criminals. So this has actually enhanced security within the wider Gulf of Guinea.
The fleet maneuvers and the seamless air-sea component communication are testament that the Nigerian Navy's presence at sea is creating the conducive environment for international commerce to thrive. I'm Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
We are calling for Robinson Derataide, who is standing by.
The traffic situation in Rivers State is fair. This is because the congestion that we used to record in the state is no longer there. And according to the Federal Road Safety Corps, in Rivers State between January to September this year, they recorded 53 crashes. Out of these 53 crashes, 23 were killed, and about 193 persons were rescued without injury, and about 120 were incurred injury. I have with me here the sector commander in the state, Christopher Kuje, who will be enlightening us more on the issues in Rivers State. Sir, tell us, from the record available, it shows that there is a sharp decline between last year's figure and this year's figure. So what could be the reason behind this?
In Rivers State, to God be the glory, there have been an increase in public enlightenment, We have taken the issue of public enlightenment to the motor parks, to churches, traditional institutions. We pay advocacy visits. We also increase our enforcement. We also ensure that in all traffic hold-up areas, we intensify our traffic control in those areas, as well as making sure, like in places where we know traffic or road traffic crashes happening in those places, what we have done is to find out the reasons, and then we will try to correct all those abnormalities.
Presently, there is an increase in vehicular movement into the state, maybe because of the festive period. But we also discover indiscriminate parking, overspeeding, and other challenges. How can this be addressed, please?
Yes, normally during Ember month, there is increased vehicular movement and even people's as well, because this is a period where people come from different parts of the country and even from abroad to attend to Christmas and other.
Robinson, boats and canoes are marine crafts used for movement of people and goods on the maritime domain. Bayelsa, being predominantly riverine state in the south region of the country, is in high demand of different river crafts, many of which are built locally. And this special reporter, Aya Prezi, examines the margin of boat building industry in Yenegua, which holds high prospects for young men.
Man, according to sociologists, is a product of his environment. This sociological postulation finds credence in the occupational patterns of people in certain environments. Bayelsa State in particular, known for its predominantly aquatic environment, has as citizens build their occupations around the rivers and things connected to the maritime domain. For instance, canoes and boats are marine crafts required by the people to explore their maritime environment. These has naturally predisposed canoe carving and boat building as a lucrative occupation in Bayelsa State, particularly as most riverside communities can only be accessed by water, and fishing remains the major occupation of the people. NTA News crew was at Osbo Lake and observed that a boat building industry is emerging at that flank of the capital city. Those at the forefront of this emerging industry are young men who did not have the privilege of formal training on boat building, but acquired the skills through apprenticeship.
When you're doing the work well, you will see better money. I'm doing surface conduit. I like household services, conduit and surface conduit. We have all those things.
These boat builders say they can take their craft to the next level.
If the money is there, if somebody can sponsor me, I can do those love boat Bayelsa State has been using. We can do it in our own way.
As you are building boat, if your hand is not that much enough in the financial aspect, then you need government.
The reality of the mentioned boat building industry at the Osbo Lake and other parts of Bayelsa is a confirmation and affirmation of the raw talents that abound in the state, waiting to be developed and enhanced in the maritime sector of the economy in Yenegua. Aya Prezi, NG News.
And that's the size of a package from here. Nationwide continues with Felicia in Jos after this break.
Hooray!
Hallelujah!
Let's celebrate!
FRC and NTA Voice of Nigeria Service of 9 Lessons and Carols is 20.
And the wind of Christmas is already blowing.
Oh yes sis, I can feel it.
This 20th anniversary promises to be very exciting and melodious with different choral groups and soloists in attendance.
And children get set because Santa Claus will also be in town.
Date 3rd December 2023.
Venue, the National Christian Center, Central Business District, Abuja.
For advert placement and sponsorship, call Rate on 0803 451 2261.
Noma on 0806 249 8741.
BBN on 0909 965 1270. Keep a date with us.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
procurement of contract, partnership, promotion, publication, manufacturing, STBS, start times, lectures, ICT and training, production and sales, TV expos, events, local and international roadshows, exhibition, both local and international. We are at Area 11 Garikia, Abuja, opposite Abuja Geographical Information System, AGES, or visit our website www.ntatve.com.ng and our social media platforms, Twitter at NTA TV Enterprise, Facebook, NTA TV Enterprise, Instagram at NTA TV Enterprise, and these numbers on 070-3502-6056, 090-19557180.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you. In your living room, office, and everywhere, anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, Go TV channel, Freeview channel 264, or live streaming via www.visiontv.co.uk.